Hello, my name is Anthony Cueva, student of Straight-Line Communications Course 101. Today, I will be detailing the inadequacies of the Homeowners Association, or HOAs, their shortcomings, and why you should support their abolition, hence my title. Now, imagine yourself the proud owner of a home. How you even got here? It's a miracle. And yet now, just about 10 seconds after the realtor has left, you look at your home with pride and anticipation as to all the different things you will do to make sure it perfectly complements your lifestyle. Oh, well, would you look at that? There seems to be a notice on the door. Now it's only been 20 seconds since the realtor left. And there you see that your hedges are round and they need to be squared. Your car, your parking lot has too many cars on it. You only have two cars, but one needs to be inside. And your house is not the correct shade of white. It needs to be eggshell, and it is cream. As ridiculous as these requirements seem, these could potentially be real requirements listed by a HOA. And this details us into the maddening and honestly very profound question as to why HOAs even exist. Now, despite how horrible and honestly abusive these HOAs seem to be nowadays, they originally stemmed from an initiative to get the community to address issues that weren't tackled or handled by public works. However, they've since become privatized entities who are controlled by landowners and corporations who make profit by taking their due from the homeowners of the association in the form of fees. Now, many HOAs would like to claim benefits as to raising property value, keeping streets clean, providing amenities. Yet we need to take a look at just the availability of actual data. And the truth is, there's not that much. Available data on budget and performance is restricted as they're not required to be published by the HOAs due to their privatized status. Take this table, for example. It's supposed to show the budgets of HOAs and reported data from a summary of the year 2003. And yet, this data was paid for as it had to be accessed by a private database. Now, if you can be selective with the amount of data that you can put out, would you not want it to be the most best and appealing data in order to make sure that your HOA or corporation will perform well? Unfortunately, as more years go on, more and more available data of HOAs have not been increasing. This leaves the ability for these HOAs to be selective and to choose only the most favorable data as to allow themselves to be viewed at most favorably. Now, surely if you've paid off your home, keeping up with HOA shouldn't be no big deal. And yet, is your home really paid off? Unfortunately, for Captain Michael Clower, he had to find out that it indeed isn't. His home was foreclosed by an HOA while he was out serving overseas. He would later find out that the foreclosure of his home was due to unpaid HOA fees. What was the amount? As you can see, over $800 will get your $300,000 home sold at auction for $3,000. And if that doesn't make sense to you, well, you are right to question that. Yet, homeowner associations have that power. Do we think this is a fair trade? Hardly. The ability to close one's home and sell it on market only to collect about $3,000 for a $800 fee is ludicrous. It's ridiculous. And I'm sure many of you listeners are just stunned by the fact that you can lose something that you've probably invested and gotten yourself in a lots amount of debt, only for that to be pulled out the rug because you now find yourself part of an HOA. This allows for a heavily skewed power dynamic, as the HOA, for all intents and purposes, holds the ultimate weapon against you, and will make sure that you are good to follow and adhere to their rules, lest you find yourself on the other side of it. This is not a power that a privatized entity should have. Now, if we to look at the structure of the HOA, you will find many similarities to feudalism. Feudalism was the political structure of the Dark Age Europe where a landowner, such as kings or nobles, would grant land to the peasants or serfs. You in exchange would provide your services and or payment in order to live in the dwelling that you would think would be your home. HOAs, the homeowners are the serfs. They give up their land and their rights in order to have the simplicity and universally assumed right of being able to live in a home. The board members are the nobility, collecting these fees and HOA dues in order to feed their corporation overlords, or the landowners of the HOA. Landowners, or the corporations, are the Regency. Now with this structure, it now starts to make more sense how and why privatized entities such as these HOAs are able to make their money. They have no requirement for transparency. This allows them to push forward the most appealing data. This more appealing data then looks really, really attractive to these homeowners or future homeowners, who then lock themselves in a serf-like contract in which they must pay whatever fees or fines that get dished to them in whatever fines get dished out to them, lest they face the punishment of foreclosure. And should any of these homeowners actually get foreclosed on or are not able to sustain this lifestyle, they will be replaced. More serfs will move in, more property value will acquire, and more property value is just more profit for the Regency. Now, just want to address the closing thoughts of this. But really, it's the ending of my own personal rant. These HOAs are not your friend. They are not in any way, shape, or form incentivized by your well-doing. They are incentivized by money and power, just like any other corporation.